Hello and very good afternoon or good morning or good evening, depending on which part of the world you're joining us from. Thank you all for taking the time out to be here today. I'm Karan Mulchandani. As you all know, the founder of a passion-based social enterprise called Enlightened Sapiens, and I will be your host for today. On behalf of the South Asia Bonsai Federation, SABF, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you today. So by now, you all know that we do these virtual events so often, and every time I introduce SABF, so this time we thought we'll do something a little different. So today, I'd like to invite our driving force, without whom events like these would not be a possibility, the president of SABF, Mrs. Sneha Prasad, to help us understand what SABF, South Asia Bonsai Federation, has in store for us in 2022, and also tell us a bit more about today's event. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Karan. Oh, dear friends, it gives me immense pleasure and joy to welcome you all and thank you for your continuous support to South Asia Bonsai Federation. I'm not going to explain what South Asia Bonsai Federation is because you all know we are 5 countries. But we have so much in this new year. It's a new year, new aspirations, new achievements, new targets. And today, beneath the mask of bewildered thoughts and memories, the life in South Asia region looks very, very positive. So many things are there which I can include in my wish list. But first, I would request all our partner countries in South Asia region, please do invite us also for your programs and demo. We are looking forward to it, to attend it. And secondly, many more happening events are on the board. You will be surprised what all is coming in 2022. 80th birthday of respected Swamiji is to be celebrated on June 4th and 5th. Besides being an artist of par excellence in music, veena, and astronomy, Swamiji is a great educationist of Hindu Sanskriti and devotes his time for the upliftment of the underprivileged. He is a very motivational leader. 4th and 5th June is also celebrated as World Environment Day. 4th and 5th June is also going to be a very important day in the history of South Asia Bonsai Federation region. On that day, we will honor 4 dignitaries with Lifetime Achievement Award. Your participation on this day is must. Book your date and time today itself. So you are free to join us and show your respect to them. Again, I'm talking of 4th and 5th of June. You will witness a most happening revolutionary symposium on the art of Suseki by Dr. Thomas Elias and his team. And on the 4th and 5th of June itself, there will be an inaugural ceremony of World Cooperation Center, which can be witnessed by all of us. It will be coming directly from the ashram Dattapitha, Mysuru on 4th and 5th of June. Friends, there is going to be actually Suzuki and Shohin virtual convention from 9 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. on both the days. This is to commemorate with the 80th birthday of respected Swamiji. My goodies book of basket of goodies doesn't stop here. There is bonsai ebook, a physical book on Suzuki will be released on that. A bonsai ebook will be released. Very interesting videos will be shown. Workshops will be held. SABF is looking forward to seeing you all who are interested in Suzuki and bonsai to come, join and enjoy. I'm hard selling this convention so that we all remain active, positive, bonded and happy. A nominal registration fees of rupees 500 will be charged, which will give you free access to ebook of more than 150 pages and a certificate of participation. And friends, there is more to come. This is just the beginning of 2022. World Bonsai Convention in October. And the early bird registration has already started. Please follow it up. The links have been sent to all your presidents. You can watch, enjoy virtually an exemplary convention, see all the great masters, new products, bonsai exhibitions, online demonstration, enter into online workshops too. And there is shopping also available, and all for $90 for so many days. $90 in Indian rupees is just 6,750. Please do not miss us. Let me announce today that the whole faculty of Digital Bonsai School is joining it. Within 10 days, we will be registering ourselves. And I'm sure the students of first batch and second batch will not be far behind. Requesting all the club presidents of all the 5 nations of South Asia region to rise and shine, show the opportunity to all the club members and encourage them for the participation. We will keep coming back with more information, but now I think I will hand over to Karan to proceed with the program. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. And wow, there's so much in store for 2022. Very exciting times ahead. But coming to today's program, as you all know, you're going to see 2 beautiful demonstrations by experienced bonsai artists, Mrs. Sonali Roy Choudhury and Mr. Sudhir Jadhav. I have the honor to introduce both of them to you. Let me start with Mrs. Sonali Roy Choudhury. Hello, ma'am. Mrs. Sonali Roy Choudhury, she is the bonsai ambassador for the East Zone of SABF, which is the South Asia Regional Organization of the World Bonsai Federation, WBFF. She is also a member of the Choudhury Bonsai Club, Kolkata, one of the premier bonsai clubs in India. Sonali has been pursuing the art of bonsai for over 2 decades and is a bonsai teacher for more than 15 years now. She has completed her bonsai training locally and then completed the Tropical Bonsai School, a 3-year diploma program for Master Pedro Morales of Puerto Rico. She has conducted several demonstrations and workshops in Kolkata to promote the art of bonsai. She has conducted a demonstration in Bangalore and was invited to assist an international master in Indonesia. Sonali has also participated in several workshops and has closely worked with several international masters. She has also conducted an online demonstration for SABF and was instrumental in organizing 2 national bonsai exhibitions with her fellow ambassadors. Sonali has also created a very scenic and beautiful bonsai garden in a farm in Kolkata. On a personal note, I have had the privilege of interacting with Sonali ma'am for all these virtual events, and it was wonderful to learn how she and the ambassadors were selecting these bonsais and the immense work that goes on at the back end. So that we have Mrs. Sonali Roy Choudhury. Welcome and good afternoon. And of course, we have Mr. Sudhir Jadhav. Mr. Sudhir Jadhav, we've seen him in pretty much every of our virtual events, and so he's the secretary of South Asia Bonsai Federation. He's also the vice president of the Indian Bonsai Society, Mumbai. Sudhir was caught by the art of bonsai very early in life. He completed his basic bonsai course conducted by the Indian Bonsai Society, Mumbai, immediately after school. He has also completed an advanced bonsai teachers training program conducted by the Indo-Japanese Association, as well as a 3-year diploma program from Tropical Bonsai School conducted by Master Pedro Morales of Puerto Rico. Madam Sneha Prasad is Sudhir's teacher, coach, mentor, and life philosopher. Her contribution to his journey into the world of bonsai is immense. Sudhir is an international and national level bonsai demonstrator and a bonsai teacher. Sudhir was also fortunate to receive personal learning from Master Peter Chan. He conducted a bonsai demonstration in Manila, Philippines at the Flora Filipina Expo in February 2019 and was also a judge for the Suzuki selection. Sudhir has assisted many international bonsai masters during bonsai demonstration. He has won several awards for his bonsai compositions. Sudhir has also set up Bonsai Euphoria, a bonsai design studio at Culture in Mumbai. And like I said, on a personal note, though, I have been interacting with Sudhir, and my journey with bonsai is as old as I know Sudhir. And it's been a privilege and immense learning while interacting for nearly every virtual event we've had with him. He has truly inspired me to pursue this art form, not only in bonsai, but also in Suzuki. And as ma'am already mentioned, I'm very excited for all of her to see more of his work and effort in the coming months during the Suzuki exhibition. So now I hope you all know the wealth of knowledge and passion that these two experienced bonsai artists bring to the table while doing their demonstrations right here today. So let's begin. I'm going to bring Mrs. Sonali on the screen, and I will request her to share her concept with all of us. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Here I would be showing you, the topic is Bonsai Nuances. So the nuances have to be played between, my nuances would be the plant, which is a very commonplace plant. It is a Thuja compacta. And it grows everywhere. You find them in the medians, you find them in gardens, the roadside, everywhere. But what I would like to do is this is a driftwood. I would like to closely show you. These are the knolls and the knots of the driftwood. You see, it's a natural groove it has. And this is what I picked up from the bank of a river in North Bengal. So I thought that if this is put together with this thuja, it would create some drama. And this is the nuance that I would like to create in this. And my objective is to show the root of this plant and blend the trunk line into the groove of this. And, so that this is adjusted to the movement created by river god. So this is what I intend doing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Over to you, Karan.
Thank you, ma'am. And so now Sonali ma'am is going to start working on her material.
Yes.
And while Sonali ma'am works on her material, let's head over to Mr. Sudhir Jadhav, and let's see. I'm going to bring him on the screen. I'll request him to introduce his vision to all of us. Hi, Sudhir.
Thank you, Karan. Thank you very much for the introduction. Today, I'm going to work on a concept called less is more. It's basically based on minimalism. Okay, it has its roots in Zen Buddhism, where less is considered to be more, and it came from the concept or the philosophy is philosophy of how one can live with minimum things, bare minimum things in life, and how can we manage our lives with very minimum requirements in life. We all know during the COVID time, we didn't travel. We lived with whatever food we had in the house, and there was absolute no movement, people are not allowed to move around. We lived with whatever we had, and we were happy with all that. So I'm going to work on less is more concept today, and I'm going to show this composition by using very few elements, and we will see how it shapes up. So I have this rock with me today, and this is my plan for the day. Yes, this is the only plant I'm going to work upon today. It's Juniperus, you all can see it. And that's the concept. I will come back once Sonali tells more about her work.
So, let's head back to Sonali ma'am, who is diligently working on her material. Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Hi. So I would also like to say now, I have cut out 2-3 branches from here, and I am not cutting more branches now. I would like to first wire the 2 primary branches and kind of fit this, because I really don't know what is going to happen. I would like to fit the First, I have cut off a few branches, 2-3 branches, which I know for sure that these need to be cut. But now I'm not cutting anything. I would like to wire this branch and this branch, the 2 primary branches, and then I would like to fit this into the groove. So let me start by doing this. Then I can select what I need to keep, what I need to reject. That is my move in doing the work. So that is how I will proceed. So this is how I begin. Okay. And then I'll keep telling you more about the plant itself. And also I would like to introduce Lakhon, who is assisting me.
Karen, can I say a few things?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, so today I will be assisted by Anil. Anil helps me at my farm. So he will be helping me. And yeah, Karan, I have made a small presentation
Yes.
to explain the concept and the material and what to use and what not to use. So can you please flash it to
Absolutely. Absolutely. There you go.
Yeah, so minimalism starts from the art, and definitely it means being bare minimum, truthful, being simple, orderly, and at the same time create harmony and aesthetics. Minimalism also uses very simple lines, color, and shapes, and as I said, like it's it originated from the Zen philosophy, and it is very a spiritual concept. And I said, like as I said, like it's doing more with less. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah, the same concept can be used for gardening by keeping the garden free of clutter, not too many plants. That will make the garden look spacious, and it will be a low maintenance garden then. It can also be applied to bonsai when we create different compositions, different types of bonsai. I mean, if we use the less is more concept, it can turn out to be a beautiful composition. Yeah, we move to the material that I have. This is the rock which I had. I had purchased it in 2014, and it was lying with me for more than almost 8 years now. And this is my material for that day. Karen, can move to the next slide.
Yes. Go ahead, Sudhir. We can see your material.
Okay, I'm not able to see your screens.
Okay. The PPT, Sudhir? Like me to share?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Please go to the next slide.
Yes.
This is the material. Then we go to the stone, the orientation of stone as to how we can use this stone. I have had two choices. One is to use it upward like a mountain, and the another choice was using it as an inverted cliff. I felt that this particular rock could look better as an inverted mountain or an inverted cliff. So that's how I placed it in a tray of my choice. I will explain the concept of the tray also. We can go ahead. I had this stone carved bonsai pot. If I had placed a rock on it, it would have looked probably like this. Next slide. Probably it would have looked like this. Then I had a choice of using a pot, round pot, a flat pot. That would have looked something like this. Next slide, please. Then I have these two ceramic, sorry, I have this Ventura slate, and the composition would have looked something like this. I wanted to avoid this because I'm going to work on less is more concepts. So this would have created a longer triangular kind of a design, and it would have required more elements to be added to the composition. And I wanted to avoid it. So I'm avoiding using that Ventura slate. I have this little larger, say like almost 12 inches ceramic pot, brown color pot. And that particular pot, if I had used, it would have looked like this. Not this. Can you move to the next slide, please? Yeah. Yeah, the next. Yeah, it would have looked like this. And I had this small ceramic pot. Yes, which is in the light brown color. And this is close to 8 to 9 inches in length, and very small compared to the previous one. And I decided to use it because can you move to the next one? Not this, the next slide. Next slide, please. No, I think we pass this. Yeah, fine. I decided to use this particular slide because I wanted the entire stone to be contained into this container. Okay, I didn't want to use a longer container. I wanted to have a confined space. As I'm saying, less is more. I want to use very small space for the rock. At the same time, I wanted the entire composition to stay within the frame. Okay, so if you see this particular rock, which I'm sitting with, it has been cut. The edge has been cut and it has been placed. I have stuck it with fastener. I mean epoxy fastener, and it is already settled with this particular. But rock has multiple, facets, and it has many faces, as you can see. It's quite flat on this side, and it has this elevation, which is natural. It's again a little flat on this side, and it has a good cave-like place over here, a long kind of cave, which I'm going to use for my composition today. I had a choice of using another rock, place it here like this or like this to make it look probably more, I would say, more dynamic, but I'm not going to do that. I'm happy with this stone. Whatever this stone I have, I will be using that. I'm not going to add any other element to this stone as of now. Okay, so if you see, the entire composition is within the pot, the lines of the pot, and the entire design of this particular composition is going to be rectangular in shape. I have this juniper, which is very young. Many times we wonder what to do with very juvenile plants. We don't know what to do with them. But these juvenile plants can also be wonderful material for us to use it in our composition. So I'm going to use this single juniper, and I'm going to place it on this cliff. Okay, I'm going to use this particular place for placing it. I deliberately did not go for a ready made, already ready bonsai to show this demonstration. I wanted to use a very juvenile plant, do a bit of designing on it, wire it, and then place it and show it. Over the years, of course, the plant will mature and the composition will also mature. So I deliberately did use a plant which was ready. I could have just got it and placed it, but I am going to use a very simple, ordinary looking bonsai material and show how you can make it more interesting. So I'm going to start working on this juniper now. I will be pruning it a bit. I will be wiring it and try to place it. I'll come back to you with the more updates on my placement. Till then, over to Sonali.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for so patiently explaining your concept and vision with us. There's a single question, Sudhir, if you don't mind answering. It's relevant. The question is, firstly, everyone's appreciating this beautiful rock, me included. I think it's stunning. But the question is, can you tell us what type this is and from where we can get this?
The rock?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, this is from the north, usually around west or south. We do not get this particular rock. It's it's come from the northern region. I had got it from Mr. Manoj Kumar. And there are a lot of people who deal with this kind of rocks, so you can easily get it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're just going to move on to Sonali ma'am, and then we're going to see, as you can see in the chat box, everyone want to see everything. So we're going to see both of them side by side working as well. We're just moving to Sonali ma'am.
Yeah. So I have, as I said, that I want to, this is a very commonplace plant and we normally don't do this. But you see, this has its own charm and beauty. It is found everywhere. It grows in all kinds of soil. And if put into the ground, the trunk becomes very thick over years. But since this was with me, this is 6 to 7 years old. It was lying in this pot for that many long. So this is the breadth that I have. Now, you see, I thought after having got this, I was thinking what to do with this. Now, see this, fortunately for me, you see, it is slowly getting into the groove with the root being exposed, and I am trying to push as much, and I'll put one, I'll string it once here and one in the apical line. And I think now, once I fix this, I presume that the tip of the driftwood would act as my apex. So I have wired these two primary branches, but I would like to have them closer and definitely wire these sub branches also. But once I fix this, I would know what the apical region will look like. But this I have to move on and work till I kind of understand what the apical line will be. And I have removed, just a moment, some 5-6 branches from here. I mean, which one came somewhere in between, one came on the face, and one came here. So these were obstructing the lines. So as of now, I have discarded these many branches. So I will proceed with fixing the upper portion here and maybe one more attachment. I've done 2 attachments. I've put them through water pipes, this plastic water pipe, so that, there is, because this is going to stay on for very long to kind of be embedded in. I don't want to disturb the arrangement. So I have put my wires through this, and I'm going to do one such here and one here. So this is what I am going to do. And let me proceed with the work then now.
I must say that the driftwood is just looking like it's made for that plant, the material. It's just beautifully placed.
Yes, fortunately so. See, this has been not carved by anybody but nature. Yes, yes. And you see, another thing is that whether you can see this, and also you have to understand all plants are not befitting a driftwood, because this plant is a hardwood plant. It is befitting. And you see, this is a natural, I haven't done anything. See, if you look at this, well, there's a, see, there is a natural hole here. It's a uro here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you can see that it is done by nature on the plant itself. So kind of let me then start working on it.
Thank you, ma'am. Just one quick question, if you don't mind. There's a question that, is it a tanuki?
No, it is not a tanuki. You see, tanuki is something where you're hiding everything. It is not a tanuki. That is why I'm mentioning that. You see, you can see can you see the root? I'm exposing the root. It is just that we have a prop. It is like a prop. This is the nuance that I'm creating. It is just kind of a prop to, give some glamour to the not so glamorous plant, if I may call it. It sounds very not fair, but nonetheless, this is going to add some bounce and glamour to the plant. That is why it isn't a tanuki. You see, I am exposing the root. And I would like this to grow along the groove. That's about it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for answering that. Okay, so thank you, Sonali, ma'am, again. And so as requested, let's see the work of both the artists together. Everyone's quite excited to see both of you all, ma'am, and Sudhir. So again, if you have any, like the chat questions are happening, if you all have any further questions, you all can ask in the chat box. Of course, any relevant questions related to Bonsai Nuances, please put in the chat box, and both Sudhir and Sonali ma'am will be happy to answer them for you.
So Karan, as of now, I have just cleared some unwanted patches, which I didn't want in the composition. And I'm wiring some of the branches so that we can start designing.
Thank you.
I have specifically used juniper in my composition because for a rock like this, proportion is very, very important. Had I used a plant with large leaf size, it would have looked very different. It's very important to use the ideal plant for the composition. This particular rock, as I mentioned to you, I want to make it look like a mountain and not look like a rock. I have both the choices. If I wanted to use this like a rock, I would have used a little bigger plant, but I'm not doing it. I want this particular rock to look like a mountain. So the plant which I'm going to embed on this particular rock had to be small, and it had to have small leaves. So that's how I'm using plant with very small leaf. And juniper is the I think one of the smallest leaf conifer plant, and it looks absolutely great in any kind of composition. It looks it's an ideal plant for cascade because that's how it grows in nature. And since I'm going to create a cascading effect with this particular plant, I decided to do it. Secondly, I wanted to use a plant with a not very heavy trunk. I wanted the plant to be delicate so that it doesn't overpower the rock. Because if I had used a very natural looking trunk right in the beginning, the mountain, this particular rock would have looked smaller in the composition, and it would have looked like a rock or a stone rather than a mountain, which I wanted it to look like. So that's the idea of using this particular plant. As I said, it's a very a juvenile plant, a very young plant, but as the time goes, it will become mature. It will look very nice and will integrate with the rock, this particular rock, and give it a mountain kind of.
Thank you. That's very beautifully explained. There's another question, if you don't mind. The question is: the rock is very dynamic and beautiful, but how did you make it white? Earlier images showed a yellow mustard colored rock.
That's because of the photograph. It is not colored. It is the way it is in nature. I have not colored it. I have not touched it. For last 8 years, it was I had wrapped it in a piece of cloth and kept it in the window because I wanted it to get the rain and the sun and the wind. And I think that created a very good effect. You can see the rock is looking absolutely bright and looks little withered also because it has undergone the I mean, it has faced the weather. Had I kept it in a trunk or a box, it would have definitely looked much different than what it looks. So I kept it in a window with a cloth wrapped on it, and I think that worked well. So for 8 years, it was lying there, and I think today is the right time to work on it.
Wow. If I may use a term from our earlier online sessions, There's patina now on the rock. There's a character
Yes,
that
yes,
has been added to the rock. So it's beautiful. It actually looks stunning.
yeah, Karan, you're capturing so much of a bonsai and so sick in knowledge.
There's so much information, there's so much knowledge in all these online sessions that SABF organizes and all the good work that everyone's doing. It's been, there's so much knowledge. And each and every session is different. You get to learn so much.
Yeah. Now that you talked about patina, this particular pot is selected because I wanted the pot to complement the rock. I mean, this particular stone. Okay. And if I had used that stone carved plate or a Ventura plate, or we use that big brown plate, that wouldn't have looked as stunning as the stone is looking now, because it's in a very subtle, with a pot with very simple lines, nothing decorative over the pot, very simple light brown color, which is very close to the color of the rock. So that's how I use this particular pot. I could have used a round one, or could have used a stone rock, but I decided to use this.
Thank you. Just going to move to Sonali, ma'am, if that's all right. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So a little more about this plant. This is an evergreen plant. It is hardwood and it is a conifer also. So that is why we can match this to that. Now we cannot move a fleshy plant along a driftwood. It does not look natural. So we have to, whatever we create, whatever we do, whichever way, whatever be the element to enhance the beauty, we have to do something very similar to the nature of the plant is of prime importance. So that is what we have to look into first. Now, let us also discuss a little bit of the plant. This is an evergreen plant. And it is, as I said, it is found almost everywhere. It is also found in the temperate zones as well. And this also plant is called the tree of life because it has a lot of medicinal values, and it also has a long life. Some thujas live up to say around 800 years as well. So this is also called a tree of life, And another thing is that the homeopathy medicine thuja that we use comes from this plant. So these are the informations about the plant per se. Okay. So a lot of things that we know that, we don't know about the plant.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I would be wiring see, I've done the 2 primary lines. I have not done any sub-wiring. Now I'm going up to the second level of branching. So let me place them and see how it looks. So this 2, I have brought them ahead, and this one I would like to fill up here, a little at the back, so that, this place looks a little covered and full.
So, Karan, I have wired this particular juniper. Okay, you can see this is the main trunk line, and I've kept alternate branches. This, you can see the first branch here, the second one. They get small branches. I'm going to use this to just create a small canopy over here. And I have managed to wire all of them. So now what I will do is I will just start designing it, and then we will place it on the rock. So just a little more about juniper. Juniper basically is a temperate condition plant. It does well in the colder region, but it can survive in other places also. Needs a little more care, and it can create a very good bonsai. One can create a very good bonsai out of it. Juniper is one of my favorite plant when it comes to bonsais. Though at times it is little difficult to maintain and take care of them, but otherwise, if looked after well and handled properly, it can give you a very, I mean, you can make a very good bonsai out of it and can give you a lot of joy and pleasure.
I'm again going to show both the artists side by side. So for those of you who'd like to see both of them working on their material and their plants. Again, if you're on your laptop, you'll see both of them on the screen. But if you're on your mobile, you'll have to swipe to see one after the other.
The advantage of using the juvenile plant in your composition is like it's very flexible. You can turn it the way you want. It survives well since it's very young and it's immature. It settles down quickly, and you can blend it the way you want to blend it, and you can play around with the juvenile plant, but with little matured material, it becomes a little difficult at times to turn them or twist them or use them the way you want it in your composition. Little more about how we're going to place this particular plant. So it is always important that we place the plant at the right spot. Now this particular rock, if we try to cut it usually by putting it at halfway at 50% of the length of the rock, it may not look that good. Okay. It is always better to use that 60-40 kind of a ratio when you're designing anything like this. You're using a rock like this, or even for that matter, when you're creating a single bonsai in a tray, it is always better to use a 60-40 ratio. I'll explain 60-40 ratio. 60-40 ratio will be like 60% of your part of your bonsai should be on one side, and 40% of the part should be on the other side. Okay, so I'm not going to place this particular plant over here at 50%. I will be using this particular portion, and I'm going to bring it down. I mean, it will be cascading down. Again, while placing the plant, it is always important that we place the plant within the rock. In the sense, within the body of the rock. Okay, we can use it here, we can use it here, but avoid and it is always ideal to not plant bonsai or a material on the edge of the rock. So for example, I've seen many times in composition of branches put here, and it is coming out straight. Then we see it is put up on the head, and like as if the hair is coming out of ears from on this side. It looks very odd to me as such. It is always better to use the plant within the within the rock, I mean, within your composition, so that it gets integrated over the period and it doesn't look like a tap. I mean, we all know how the tap is like. It's like coming out from a straight line. I mean, coming out at a 90-degree angle. So we should avoid that tap-like kind of a design in bonsai. We should not have the plant coming out as a set straight or falling off as if it is just stuck over it. It should look like it's part of that mountain or that rock and integrate well with the stone. It's always important to keep that in mind. Okay. So we are bare rooting the plant. So we just had the Vasant Panchami, so it's a good time to do new composition, do repotting. This is the best time. It's a growing time, Karan, for all the plants. So they do well. The death rate is very low if you do something wrong with the plant.
That's
We
a
all,
survival.
all bonsai artists usually work a lot with this particular period of their bonsai, be it repotting, creating new design, creating new composition. This is just the right time. And there's always one thing to remember, like never bare the entire plant. Don't remove all the soil. Always keep some other soil on the plant. It definitely helps the plant to immediately settle down in the new composition and do well. So it's always important to keep some soil and be careful with the root system of the plant. This tree is immature, small, but it has very good root system. You can see the roots, number of roots has. So it's a very healthy plant. I'm using the chopstick to remove the soil which I don't want. So for fixing the plant with the rock, we created this sticky soil balls, which has red soil, a bit of cow dung, and sphagnum moss, so that it integrates and stays there, and also helps the root to cling on. So it is not, you can see it is not the it is not disintegrating, so it has a lot of fibers. So I'm going to use this for putting it on the rock now. So let me show this rock and the point that I'm going to use. So I'm going to use it little over here where there is a, you can see this particular gap of space where I'm going to use the use for placing the plant, and then we will just shape the plant a bit over there once it is placed. So just placing sticky soil over there. Providing little moisture.
Karan, can we see Sonali also?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So what I have done is that I have, see, another thing is that this plant, if you see, it has long stems, it produces long stems. But at the same time, there is you have to know the plant well. I have seen it behaves like a juniper. You need to keep a lot of these foliage to retain moisture in the plant. Otherwise, what happens is there is a lot of dieback. But at the same time, if you don't prune, that is why I have kept quite a bit of long foliage. I have cut some, but I have not done a drastic pruning. Is because one thing is that you have to see, if you can see well, can you all see? See now, it is giving endless long shoots. But you see, I don't want to keep it so long. I want to cut it up here, but there isn't any foliage. Very slowly, it will respond to the inner growth. So I am keeping enough foliage here to have the growth here and then subsequently cut it out. This is the nature of the plant. But if you go for a drastic cut, it will die back and it will show browning. It is a kind of a revolt. So don't overdo the plant when you are working on it. Do it slowly at a time. So that is why I'm kind of cutting out the extended foliage, but I'm keeping quite a bit of heavy foliage and not disturbing it too much. And some of it which I intend keeping for sure, I'm not cutting the tip at all. So this is the way I would like to proceed. Now, if you look at this, see, there has been a one tie here, and one tie in the apical region. As I said, that this is what I would like to keep as the apex. This is showing clearly well. And now what I need to do is see what the capping, because until and unless I fix the top, I could not understand what the top would have been like. So now I have to see, take a look at the plant, take a call, what I need to kind of not keep, and of course do a little more of the branch wiring. So this is it. So I'll proceed with my work.
Absolutely, ma'am. It's looking great, and
We want to see you doing it.
Yeah. We're doing it. Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah.
So, Karan, I have just placed the plant. Okay. Now I'm going to just I wired it. So I'm just going to design it a bit so that it looks better on the rock. As you see, the directionality is very, very important in any composition. The directionality, the rhythm, then it's not only that the tree should have the rhythm, but the entire composition should have directionality and rhythm. This is, as I said, like is an inverted cliff. So the plant is going down, it is not going out straight in 90 degree, or it is not going out up, okay, it is going down, okay, and it's just trying to survive there because here, of course, the amount of water it would get in nature. I mean, if this particular composition was in a real nature, it would have got very less water because the water would have flowed down. So the tree should be very skimpy. It should have less foliage. Should have a very weak kind of a thin kind of a trunk line, and rather than having a very heavy thick trunk. So that's the idea over here, using a very thin small plant.
Will you be repotting it, or you'll be keeping it the same pot?
No, ma'am, I'll be repotting it.
Oh,
I'll just put it into that is why I'm quickly finishing the little bit of the sub branching also. I want to put it into the pot.
Sonali, can I ask you one question?
Yes, ma'am, surely.
Why did you choose such a mature plant with the driftwood?
Ma'am, why did I choose a mature? Ma'am, this I've seen. If I will, for the demo, I'm putting it into the pot, but I have intentions of putting it into the ground. It grows not in the ground, in a grow pot. It will grow very fast, ma'am. It will take 2 years for it to kind of, because it will grow well into this, the thickness, because I've firmly attached it, ma'am. Just one second. See, the base, that is lucky to have this base, which actually fits into this. That is why I have chosen this. And there are the junctions where I've tied it, ma'am. In 2 years, it will fix to the body.
Okay, thank you.
That is why.
I want to ask a question to Sudhir also.
Yes, ma'am.
It is such a mature rock. Why did you use such a tiny plant for that juvenile plant, as you said?
Because I wanted it to look like a mountain. Had I used a very thick plant or a thick trunk, it would have just looked like a rock. It wouldn't have looked like a mountain. So that's one thing. Probably the second reason is it would have been quite disturbing to the eyes. I mean, like if a heavy rock having a very heavy trunk coming up. In nature, probably that kind of plant wouldn't have survived there for so long, and a very mature tree, trying to fall out of a cliff on a
No,
height.
what I mean is we could have used mature plant, but thin plant, thin plant only, but mature plant. This is very young plant, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah, as I was telling, at times we have juvenile plants and we don't know what to do with it. We keep them, they become thick over the period. And I felt in this particular composition, the juvenile plant will look much better. It will do better. It will complement the composition. That's one reason. And I felt the trunk line should be little more delicate than heavy. Very thick trunk line over here would have taken away the beauty of the rock as such.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
Ma'am, I also, sorry, ma'am.
No, yes, sir.
Also to let you know that this plant was like it is 5 to 6 years old, this plant. So it has a lot of growing left in it. So I'm sure it will grow well if placed like this in a grow pot only.
Sonali ma'am, there's a question on the chat box for you if you don't mind me asking. How do we look after the driftwood along with the plant?
See, you don't have to do anything. You look after the plant. You don't have to care for the driftwood per se. Is because this is a river fountain. You wouldn't believe it's like a rock. It's a wood rock. It is so hard. It is like a wood rock. You know, that is the level. But in case you want to preserve it, you use lime sulfur solution. That would be the best to preserve certain portions of it if you think, and also remove the rot portion if it at all rots. Maybe from the baseline, because upper portion water will slide down, but here it may be in baseline, maybe in direct contact. So, you know, kind of first remove it and lime sulfur it. And these natural ones are actually so hardy.
Sudhir, there are a couple of questions for you as well, if you don't mind me asking.
Yes.
The first question is, how much soil is enough for the plant for future growth?
Okay, so I have probably used two sticky balls over here. I mean, like these I have used two. And I'm going to apply a little more soil over here. So I had pruned the roots. So I think that much soil would be good enough. And very soon it will start growing in the new soil, the new house. And I think that much should be good enough for it at the moment. But yes, over the period, it will look, it will need repotting very often, because here the amount of soil that we are using is quite less.
And how would we water it?
We can just water it with a spray from top. So, yeah, I will come to watering a bit later when I'm talking about what we are going to do at the base. But you can just put water on the top over here where the soil is. And if you want to give back to the rock every day, that is also fine. It will have moss and other elements on it, and it will look more natural. as ma'am was asking me why I'm not used a very thick trunk over here, just because I wanted to play with
not thick, mature.
mature,
Mature.
because I wanted to play with this thin but thin trunk and create design over the rock rather than just placing it. So I wanted to basically integrate it with the rock wherever there is space. I wanted the branches to be housed over there and look as if it's been there for a long time. So I've used this juvenile plant to place it and make it look more natural. A mature plant wouldn't have given me the opportunity to twist them, turn them the way I would have wanted it. And I have to, since it's a very small composition and the plant is very small, I have to make sure that it looks good also, because when we create composition with small materials, smaller plants, it's more challenging than creating a big bonsai. So I have twisted the way I wanted it to be, and
here, see, I've started working on the cap. I want to give it a direction in the, a dimension in the front also. So let me see how this is working, because this portion is clear and I would like to kind of bring the foliage a little down and create a dimension in front. So I'm wiring this and I don't know how this will stand. Let me just finish this and bring this a little down and place it properly. Then I will know the plight of this, whether to keep it or to remove it. And one more thing regarding this plant is also that you can't, though it grows in, dry parts of the country and in the medians and all of it, but still you can't keep it absolutely dry. It would need some moisture, and not so much like a juniper, but still, and because it retains moisture in the leaves, so one has to be very careful about handling the foliage of this plant.
So Karan, I more or less trained the plant on the rock. It looks like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little more soil to it. And then I will be sticking some green moss over it so that it looks better. The rock has too many good elements. You all can see this particular portion of the rock, how it is going up. Small point over there. It also has this portion which is protruding. Again, there's a little high over here, and the top of the rock is not evenly cut. It has different levels. Okay. This is the lower level of the cliff. So it's a very beautiful rock, and you can see this particular portion which is hanging out. Okay. So that is giving more depth to the rock as such. Though this particular portion is flat, I'm not really worried about it. I'll add a little more moss to it. Now, as I was telling, I have as I was saying, I've stuck this particular rock with the hardener, okay, and placed it well. So that I will show it to you how I have tied it, how I have pasted it, so that you get an idea about how it is made to stand in the very tiny pot. So you can see it. I have used hardener and I also temporarily wired it so that it holds on. I'm going to add some soil over here, okay, and I'll also use a bit of moss so that it looks good. So we're putting soil, which has many other elements like cow dung, river sand. It is seed and it is being used. You could create this kind of a composition, standing in the ocean as if the cliff is there in the ocean, standing alone. That could have also gone very well with less is more concept. Less is more, just a single stone. So as I was explaining to you in my composition, less is more. Just one rock, though I have so many other rocks which I could have used, but just one rock, just one plant, okay, one simple pot with very simple lines.
Some quick questions before we move on to Sonali ma'am as well. Is that will this plant be growing upwards or outwards, and will you be keeping it short?
Yeah, it will be, though the if you see the flow of the plant is downwards and it is going down, the branches are moving upward because it will always look for sunlight, air, and it will look for moisture. So the branches are moving up, but the trunk line is going down. Yeah, what is the second question?
And will you be keeping the plant short?
Yes, it will not be growing longer because, as I said, like I want this particular composition to look like a mountain. So the tree, the bonsai has to be small. If I put a bigger tree, then it would look like a rock. So to avoid that, this particular plant here will be small ones.
So to quickly move on to Sonali ma'am.
Yeah, I am nearly done with the wiring. I'll explain the wiring and then I will shift the plant to the pot. Just give me a moment. See, I'll just do a little bit and then I'll. Okay. So, see, the objective was, if you had looked at the plant originally, ideally this can also come down a little. Maybe this I'll bring down a little. I will bring down this a little now. But before that, let me tell you, I wanted to come because you see, as I told you, it leaves a lot of emptiness in the branches because of this long leaves. And I just cannot cut it because it has to grow within. I have cut the tips reasonably till so much, not more, and I will not harm the plant. I don't want to hurt the plant. So what I've done is I've wired the plant and I've brought the plant was growing like this outwards. Now you see, I want to grow the plant inwards, and I have kept the padding, the top padding here a little low so that the apex is clean, and this is how it is growing. I have arranged them in levels. One is here, one is there. This has come closer. This branch has come closer. This is also low. The foliage is looking condensed now. And vis-a-vis when I started off, it was wild. So there is a lot more to happen in this, but for the time being, this much can be done. So let me now place it into the bonsai pot and let's see how it looks. Sure. This is the plant bonsai pot of choice. I'll just lower the thing a little. See, this is the bonsai pot of choice, is because I want to keep this embedded a little so that it grows well and does not dry up. And also this is well established, the driftwood. So I'll start doing the planting.
So Sonali, during the COVID time, how did you manage your plants in the farm?
That was a big problem. Not only COVID time, followed by Amphan. First, it was those that storm that hit Bengal, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't believe I damaged so many plants because I have mango trees, many mango trees. The branches fell and fell onto the poor bonsais, followed by as it is, and then it was followed by a terrible flood in the locality where these plants were submerged in water. But let me tell you, it is a strong plant, I would say, that it remained submerged in water, most of them for 2 months. And a lot of them are not surviving, but I must say, oh, my pinuses are no more. But let me tell you, junipers, they lived underwater for that many days, and they survived, and so did this.
Good, great.
So there are a lot of things that we learn from nature, no?
Yeah.
I'm clearing up the soil here.
So Karan, I'm just giving little moisture to this topsoil. I will be just putting some moss over there, green moss over there. The soil has to be.
look first as to how should we place the plant.
Sonali ma'am, if you don't mind making the camera a little higher, the screen.
Camera a little higher, right?
Yeah, just push it.
See, this is good.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me just once give me a moment. Let me see the placement of the thing.
So Sonali, when are you coming to Bombay next? You keep coming to Bombay very often. So
I don't come to Bombay. I will have to now. We have not met for so long.
yeah.
Just thinking, ki, ma'am, if ma'am should call us now. Enough. We have done so many virtuals now, na? So this is the soil that I'm using. It has got some grit, some river sand, a portion of bricks, and little bit of charcoal, and also some coco peat and vermicompost. This is the mix that I have. So it is neither very dry nor very wet, and it is doing quite well. I also mix a little bit of leaf mold that I have in my which I get, in the farm that I get the leaf mold. I use that also. No.
Karan, how much time do we have?
Ma'am, we are nearing the end of our program.
Just it will take me 2 minutes to just wrap up. I'll just put the moss on top and at least try to give it a
So Karan, I have laid the moss.
Yes.
So advantage of adding a moss to the soil is like it gives the feeling that the plant has been there, or the rock has been there in that particular system for a long time, and it immediately enlightens and makes the composition very interesting and beautiful.
It is still cool in Kolkata. Sometimes it is getting, cool also, like today. And
it started getting warmer, right?
it will get warm now, any day now. But today there was a forecast of rain, and it was quite cool.
Okay. So, Karan, I just wanted to talk about the figurines, which is the last segment of my demo. So, what kind of figurine to use in a composition like this? So, in a composition, proportion, as I said, like is very, very important. The proportion matters a lot. So, if we use any odd composition, it will kill the composition. It will make the entire composition look disproportionate. So it's very important that the right size of any element that you want to add to the composition has to be of the right size. Okay. Now I have, as I was talking, this is less is more, so I'm not going to use any artifact or any particular element over here. But I'm going to show if I use this, how it would look, whether it will make the composition more interesting, or it would definitely kill the composition. So, for example, I have this deer. If I keep it, yeah, probably it may go. But then if I add a house, this will not go well because the house is quite small compared to the deer. Okay, and the deer is quite big, so again it will start interacting and playing with the composition, the rock, the plant. So I would not use anything like this. So if I have this small house, probably if I want to place it, that I can still do. That probably will give more depth to the composition as such. So like there's a big mountain, there's a plant which is falling out of it, and there is this house. So this house plays very important role in describing and telling the story about this particular composition. Okay, so using the right kind of a element is very, very important. Okay, what do you think about this house, Karan? Do you think it looks good, or should be taken
Absolutely. I think it adds a lot of character, and it actually tells a story. According to me, it tells the story, which I think completes it. I just said you wanted the rock to look like a mountain.
And I also have an option of using these figurines. There is this little big one and this small man, okay, which I could use probably. So that again, it will tell us a story. It will tell us more about the composition. What size is the mountain? This man basically decides here what is the size of the mountain. It will tell us that it's a big mountain, and you will definitely come to know the proportion of it. So I have an option of keeping this house. Of course, this house and the man will not go well. But if I just remove the house and keep this man over here, yeah, see how big the mountain looks now.
Bigger,
okay?
Even bigger
So
than the windows of the house.
Yes, well, we can use this different figurines to define your composition. So I'm good with this man, so I'm going to keep it as it is rather than using the house over there. So I wanted the entire composition to look huge, and I think this particular figurine does my work. So I'm going to leave it as it is.
It's beautiful. Yes, Sonali.
Yes, I am done. I mean, this is what could have been done to it, in the first stage. There is more. So I have more or less brought this to some kind of size and shape. And I would like to turn it around and show you the beauty of this also. You see there's a beautiful turn and there's also a, depression here. What I would also like to do now is see these branches, I have pushed them back, and here also, these branches would also little bit, not covering fully, little bit fill up and give the third dimension to the, or rather the fourth dimension to the plant. Already there is some here. These branches would grow and mildly cover up and touch the driftwood a little. So that, that circle is complete. So this is what, yeah. So I'll put it where, I'll put it on a table now.
Sure, ma'am. This is also very visible even from
This
your
is visible, so I
Yes,
won't have to put it anywhere.
No, ma'am. Would you like us to see the material, like the PPT that you asked us to prepare?
Yes, yes, yes.
I'll just quickly show to you, and then we'd love to see both these amazing transformations side by side. But yes, ma'am, this is what you had sent us, the drawing, the sketch, and
Yeah, this is the plant, original plant that I worked on.
thank you, ma'am. So I think we are nearing the end of our program, and I think both these transformations have been beyond stunning. So let's see both of these side by side. Sudhir and Sonali, ma'am, you all can see each other's because I know you're very hard working on your material, so you all can see. And while I do this, while you all see each other's plants, I want to just tell you all the positive comments, feedbacks that we've got throughout this session today. It's been overwhelming. I can't name all. It's just inundated with messages on the chat box. But I'm going to name a few, just a very few. So I'm going to while you all admire the transformed materials. So there's very nice and informative session. Thank you, Sudhir ji and Sonali ji and SABF. Sudhir, thanks a lot for the systematic, well-managed demonstration using the beautiful rock. The foot style by Mrs. Sonali is enchanting. Thank you, Sudhir and Sonali, for good demos. Also for explaining well. Thank you, ESE. Most welcome. Very nice demo. Thank you for arranging such webinars. Lots more to come. As Sneha ma'am mentioned, 2022 has a lot to offer. So stay tuned. Beautiful use of driftwood and very stunning rock. Sonali, your creation is very rare. Looks nice. I'm sure with time it is going to be stunning. Very beautiful rock and composition, Sudhir. Excellent. Thank you for such awesome creations, dear Sonali ji, Sudhir ji. Thank you very much, dear Sneha, for organizing an amazing event. The list goes on. I can continue mentioning the positive comments that are coming. Both the creations speak of in-depth knowledge expressed by enchanting beauties. Thanks a lot, SABF, for bringing two meaningful demonstrations by utilizing the time and screen beautifully on the Zoom sessions. And it's still going on. I'd love to share this with all of you all post the session. But as everyone can see, these are the finally transformed materials that they've done, and it's absolutely stunning. So at this point, if Sudhir and Sonali ma'am, if you all don't, if I may, I move to the end of our program and call upon Mr. Ravindran Damodara to give the vote of thanks. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Mr. Ravindran. Mr. Ravindran is one of the senior most international award-winning bonsai artists from India. He is an international consultant to the World Bonsai Friendship Federation and the president of the Kerala Bonsai Association. His Nikki Bonsai Garden, the biggest of its kind in South India, is home to more than 500 fully developed bonsai trees. Mr. Ravindran has conducted several international and national level demonstrations. Mr. Ravindran has been identified by SABF to lead India and conduct a virtual bonsai demonstration at the 9th World Bonsai Convention in Australia in October 2022. So I'd like to call upon Mr. Ravindran. Hello, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening to our SAB participants and good morning to overseas participants. First of all, I thank Enlightened Sapiens for introducing me and say about my works and everything. First of all, I want to thank our demonstrators Mr. Sudhir Jadhav and Mrs. Sonali Roy Choudhury. So first, I know Sudhir for several years. I know his work in bonsai and demonstrations. Also joined in my Kerala Bonsai Silver Jubilee celebration to show his talent through his demonstration. I thank Sudhirji for showing a wonderful presentation of rock and bonsai on that. It's a wonderful creation. Thank you very much for presenting this demonstration to our participants. Next, Sonali Roy Choudhury. She has also shown a wonderful demonstration by adding a driftwood along with a live plant. Just so many people asked about the tanuki, and this. I think that this is a part of the original tree at gin work, because of the gin work. So it is a very beautiful, and it is also a wonderful creation. Thank you very much, Sonali, for creating this wonderful bonsai. Next, I want to thank our president, Sneha ma'am. She is working hard to make our region one of the best regions in international. Every month, every time she is organizing programs for our SAB participants and all other participants all over the world. I thank ma'am for creating such a wonderful program for us. Thank you very much, ma'am. Next, I want to thank our World Bonsai Friends Federation, WBFF President, Mr. Lindsay Bab. He is also watching our program from the beginning. I'm thanking you, sir, on behalf of SAP for encouraging us by your participation. Thank you very much, sir. Then next, our program would not have been successful without the participation of overseas members. I thank all of you for participating in this program. Then our regular person projecting our programs to the international, that is Enlightened Sapiens. I thank you on behalf of SAP for projecting all our programs in its a beautiful way. And so I thank all of you once again. Thank you very much, all the participants of our SAP and overseas participants. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ravindran. And I love to see again, honestly, I've been mesmerized by both Sonali ma'am's and Sudhir's creation. So we'll see that just in a moment, but we have some important updates to share. As always, like you noticed, we do events every month. So we have another event at the end of this month. It's on the 23rd of February. The Digital Bonsai School announces its new arm, doing some great work, the PBS Digital Bonsai School. It's a Suzeki branch, an initiative to promote the art of Suzeki, as you saw. So that's on the 23rd at 3 p.m. The joining details, of course, will be shared shortly, as you know, on the WhatsApp groups. And like we mentioned, we have the Suzeki and Shoin Convention 2022 big event, big day. Please find out details. We will be sharing all the details shortly as well. And if you'd like to reach out to SABF, the details are mentioned on the screen, the WhatsApp, as well as the email numbers. You can reach out to them using this. And of course, we are Enlightened Sapiens and we hold events just like today. You can reach out to us if you'd like us to hold an event similar using the details below. And like I said, we would love to see Sudhir's and Sonali ma'am's work once again, because it's just mesmerizing. And so I'm going to add both actually side by side in a second. And yes, thank you all for joining us for this beautiful demonstration. Thank you, Sudhir. Thank you, Sonali ma'am, and all of you all for joining.
Thank you so much, Karan, for hosting this. Thank you, SABF, for hosting this.
Thank you.
Thanks to Lindsay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay, sir, for being there. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and see you all very, very soon.